This is Chess Hunt, a roguelite puzzle game with very minimal chess elements. Hey, this is Zambam Reviews. We mostly play smaller games that sneak past big review media. You know, I always like a game with vision, and it was clear the developer had a clear vision and core gameplay loop in mind. I also appreciate the end goal and how when I started this inexpensive game that it was not interested in wasting my time. Yes, I'm still not over my peak experience. This game was $3 less than peak and didn't ask me to spend hours watching stamina bars drain, so I was thrilled. I am also a full sucker for deck builders, and truly did not realize this was one of those until I started the game. I do feel the deck building almost made it less interesting, as it felt the random elements were heavy-handed. I had genuine fun midway through my short 30-minute playthrough. You essentially use cards to move the king, taking pieces on the board. Every piece is worth the same, but you get combos based on how many of the same pieces you defeat. When you get enough points, you get to move on to a harder round and you get some gold to buy new skill cards. I got lucky to pull a card that gave me a skill card that gives me a quarter of the total points needed, so I was pretty thrilled. Skill cards can only be used once per match, so I felt pretty overpowered going to that final match against the boss. One of the issues that the game has as well is you can only use them once per match, and it kind of just keeps giving you skill cards, so you end up with all these cards that you really just don't want to use. This is where the game became very, very annoying. The final boss deducted points from the player every few seconds at an astounding rate. The point total needed to achieve success was also so high at this point, I truly did not even attempt to complete the final boss, as I was in the negative by too much by the time I was done crashing out. I felt betrayed by the developer, as I was mostly invested in this little project at this point, and I can see the vision, even though it was falling a bit short of a fleshed out puzzle game. I also hate the trend where they're using the old CRT look, especially with the pixels. When I boot up a game and I see that those visuals are there, I always end up trying to go to the settings to change those, and that setting was unavailable. Didn't surprise me, it was a pretty small indie game. It looks like the developer does put care into this game based off the updates they added in development, but it needs some major balance adjustments and changes still. That being said, I give Chess Hunt 2 lucky skill cards out of 5.